Hello, viewers. So, today we are going to talk about Chapter 4 from the Fundamentals of Economics textbook. Chapter's name is Measures of Response Elasticities. Okay, so these are the table of content, or you can say the topics we will cover in further slides. So, our first topic is price elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand is basically a percentage changes in the quantity demanded is when divided by percentage change in price. All right. Okay. I will give you an example. So I went to look for a home decor item which was $5. So I thought I would buy two of them. But when I visited for the same for the next month, I it was $10 per piece. So I bought just one piece. So now, when the quantity, sorry, when the price was raised, so my quantity, my purchasing power was decreased. So the quantity demanded was less. All right. Next is up is determinants of price elasticity. We have four determinants. First is taste, then substitute, product groups, time dimensions. Let's talk about them one by one. So, first is taste. So, basic necessity. If something is basic necessity in life, like food, all right. So the price variation will not have that much effect on demand. Okay, so supposedly I have breakfast. I have suppose a particular fruit or eggs daily in my breakfast. So if the price goes up by $1 or $2, I will still buy the particular item because I'm habitual of that, or maybe because I'm following a particular diet, so I need to follow that. Then comes the substitute. Substitute is basically when we have options or alternative available to any product. All right. So the demand shifts to the next best alternative. All right. Like suppose if I use a particular cosmetic brand, okay. So the foundation of that particular uh, brand goes, the price goes really high. So I might switch the foundation because I am not that particular about uh, like which foundation I'm using. So I have found the next alternative to my uh, to my product, right? So that is the substitute, which defines the price elasticity. Then comes the product groups. Okay, if a particular brand, let's take an example. Let's take example from cars. Okay, if Audi, Tesla, or any other brand. Okay, if just particular brand, like let's understand this from a very rich person who has the reach to every possible brand. Now, if the person is really rich, he won't be looking at the prices, but he will look at the quality now. So, supposedly, if Audi has raised these prices, okay, particularly, so the person may shift to Tesla or Mercedes or any other cars. But if the entire car industry increases its price, like every car brand is raising the price and there is a hike in price, so the person might go to quality then. Okay, he might shift his demand to towards quality, not to the particular brand now, because the entire car industry has a hike in price. Okay, last but not the least is the time dimension. Earlier, uh, okay, I will give you an example of this. So, you might have noticed that earlier also when we used to visit hospitals or any other, like you can say, any other place. So, whether patients or any vulnerable people who are like who are more vulnerable to diseases, so the doctors used to every time consult that to wear a mask or stay, and there were campaigns about health and hygiene and whatnot, right? But during the period of COVID, in just the span of 2 years, the demand and supply for sanitizers and masks went up high, and the growth were increased rapidly, right? So the time dimensions, whether like the particular demand or supply for a particular product in just 2 years went up so high, whereas it was not that as much as high in rest of the years, or maybe earlier than that. All right, we'll move further to talk about the cross price of elasticity of demand. It is where the price of a product A is sacrificed or influenced when the price of the product B is changing. All right. Supposedly, um, okay. So, okay. So, if the price of, suppose the price of the batteries was $10 and the demand rose to 15,000, all right, when the price of the batteries was reduced to $8. Okay. So, when the price of the batteries will rise, the demand for the torches maybe will go less. The people will say, what is our loss? We will use our phone torches, right? So, the rise in the price of the batteries will affect the market of torches as well, and it is calculated by the percentage change in quantity demanded of X divided by percentage change in price of good Y. Okay, so now we talk about the income elasticity of demand. Percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. Okay, so when the percentage, okay, sorry. So a quantity demanded divided by change in income. Like suppose if uh, um, I were to buy three pieces for a particular product for $30, right? But now my salary was deducted, or I was laid off, so I am on a budget crunch. So now I'm able to just purchase I'm just able to purchase $10. I'm just able to invest $10 for that particular good. So I will be able to purchase just one good, right? So when the price was changed, when the price was sorry, when the income was my income was changed, so the purchasing power was also changed. The quantity I was demanding earlier was three, but now I'm only able to demand only one quantity of it. So now we talk about different types of goods in the market. First is normal goods. Normal goods experiences an increase in demand due to increase in a consumer's income, right? Like food, clothing. Okay. Now inferior goods are those for which there exist higher quality, more expensive substitutes. Like suppose daily dining for a student is very expensive, so like it's a kind of inferior service to him, right? So necessity is one of those income elasticity is greater than zero but less than unity. Okay, water and electricity, it is necessary for us, we cannot survive without them, so we will be needing them. Last, luxury goods. A luxury good or service is one of those income price elasticity equals or exceeds unity. Private jets, designer handbags, these are the only particular income can get these goods, so they comes under luxury goods. So now elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply measures the responsiveness of quantity supplied to the change in the price, right? Percentage change in it, it is also calculated by percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. Okay, so if the price is lower, so the price is lower, so the supplier might be supplying low quantity. If the price is high, the supplier may uh, contribute to higher products in the market. Last is our tax incident. Tax incidence is basically how much buyers and suppliers are willing to share the burden of paying, right? When uh, taxes are imposed on them, suppose VAT, value added tax, or consumption tax, excise tax, tariff can be one of the example of it. Okay, so government is imposing the tax on the here we will suppose that government is imposing the tax on the consumption of goods and services, right? So we have two kinds of tax incidents here. First is specific. In specific, a set amount of per unit, a set amount is applicable on a particular unit. Let's suppose I buy a carton of cigarette box. So on each cigarette box, $2 of tax is applicable. No matter how many boxes I buy, if I buy 500 boxes, I have to pay 1,000 based on $2 applicable on each. So, okay, and so there is a particular there is a set amount applicable to the tax. And next is ad valorem. Ad valorem is a particular number of percentage that is applicable on the consumption, right? So for example, if you if you're looking to buy a house, the location and the size of the property will define that how much percentage are you gonna pay as your tax above the property, right? All right, that was it. Thank you so much for listening to the till the end, and hope you are clear with the concepts. Thank you.